today. I'm going to just do a talk about my project mainly, about me, and about what KES has opened up for me in terms of experience. I'll go through the title first, Developing a Researcher Within a Healthcare Profession, The Path to a Successful Future, which hopefully by the end of the presentation you'll understand a little bit more why I chose that as a title. I'm going to give you a little bit on my background. You see, Danny Clegg, that's me. I'm not related to Nick Clegg, anything like that. So, and yes, I'm a KES PhD student, as Penny said. I'm in my final year. I work from a research unit within the University of South Wales called the Clinical Technology and Diagnostics Research Unit, which is the first time I've spelt that correctly in a year. So I'm going to be basically just introducing where I started, where I've been, and how I've got here today, and things I've learned along the way. And a lot of things have changed. I've gained a lot of experiences. But I've just put two pictures on here to start off by showing you how I haven't changed. So this was a picture of me at my undergraduate Christmas party in 2007. And this is a picture of me from my undergraduate Christmas party from 3 weeks ago. So there are certain things where I have changed, other things where I haven't. And they're also two of my favourite photographs. And hence why my hair is so short at the moment, because I had to mohawk it again. Anyway, so yeah, I'm going to just talk a little bit about me and my background first, and the project, and what I've learned throughout. A lot of new skills and a lot of experiences. I'll try and get through them all today. And rather than just talking about what I've seen and done, how it's all benefiting me, how it's benefited me so far, and how it's going to benefit me in the future. And finish up by talking about what the future holds in terms of what I would like to do, what I have the opportunity to do, and so on and so forth. I do apologise. I hate talking about myself. I really do. I think we all do when we're doing presentations like this. If I say me too many times, just put your hand up. Yeah. And again, if you want to ask any questions at any time, feel free to. You don't. But at the end, I will leave some time to ask any questions you may have. Okay. So I've arrived here today basically because I was looking at my project and thinking there's not much more I can do in terms of the actual study itself. I've collected most of my data, and the KES projects operate with a budget for travel to conferences, travel to seminars, and I realised that in the 2 years I hadn't spent any of it, apart from one conference I went to present a poster. And for reasons which I'll explain later on, I realised there was opportunities to see what other educational institutes are like. So I wanted to go around and shadow. That's how it started. And so far, this is my second institute in 2 weeks. And it didn't finish at shadowing. It naturally evolved to, can you please give a talk, presentation, and I gave a couple of lectures last week as well. And I think the main thing I'm looking for is to get some feedback from other students who are on KES projects at different institutes, because the University of South Wales has they have their way of operating, and I've seen very quickly that other universities have a very different way of operating. So it's nice to get feedback and to be in a different environment, and also looking further towards the future, possible postdoctorate or research assistantships. It's nice to know what the capabilities and what equipment universities have. It's also good to always discuss my research with new people. I found in my first year, I would try and give a presentation about what my research is, and unless people were in the healthcare field, it wasn't coming across very well. I wasn't very confident. I didn't really know how to present a healthcare topic to people who weren't particularly healthcare minded. So I was far too technical. So I've now managed to get it to the point where I think I can explain it to anybody, no matter what the field is, and people seem to come away understanding it a little bit more. So it's always good to discuss it with new people. And also, yeah, to soak in the North Wales sunshine, as we can see. Good job I brought my factor 40. Right. So I'm going to start right at the beginning. I was born in Wigan, in England, and I lived there for 22 years. And I left secondary school with 12 GCSEs and then went to college, but my heart wasn't in it. I wanted to go out and work, and I put a half attempt into a lot of things that I was doing. I don't think I was mature enough at that point, so I left at 18 years of age. And I think I'll show you my work history, because these are some of the jobs I have. This is not all of them. When I was 18, I was offered a job as a nightclub manager, which, as an 18-year-old lad living in a town where the main money area is nightclubs and pubs, fantastic opportunity, great. But I was also working as a part-time chef and a barman somewhere else as well. So some of the jobs I've had were, my favourite one ever was still, I was a pet shop livestock manager at 14, which basically meant I was a guinea pig salesman. We sold rabbits as well, not just guinea pigs. But I've done all fiberglass winding. I don't know how I Forrest Gumped my way into that job, but I ended up working in a factory winding fiberglass straight from a furnace, and inevitably ended up in hospital as a result. I'm very, very accident prone, as you're going to find out in a little bit. But yeah, I didn't know what I wanted to do all the way through. This is me training guinea pigs. And this is a theme park I used to work at. When I watched American Beauty once, and Kevin Spacey said he used to work in his character. I used to work in a burger joint, just flipping burgers all day. It's probably the best time of my life. And working in that theme park is still one of the best times of my life. I had so much fun, minimal responsibility, and I think if we could all go back in time, we'd do it again. I would definitely do it again. But yeah, even though I was quite going off the rails a little bit when I was in my late teens, I still always wanted to study chiropractic when I matured. I convinced my brother to leave his medical path and go and do a chiropractic degree, and I could see how happy he was that I had convinced him to do this. And he became an inspiration, so I started to want to come and do the course as well. But then my children were born. My daughter when I was 19, my son at 22, so I can't just go to university until they're a little bit older, concentrate on working. And we moved to Anglesey in 2002, where I started working as a healthcare assistant, working in nursing homes on Anglesey. One, I don't know if you know, I live in Bryn Mell Manor. I worked there for quite a while, and Spring Home in Pentraeth. And at Spring Home I quickly became not supervisor, like a head healthcare assistant, and I realised that I was enjoying working in healthcare. And so I was looking at nursing, I was looking at chiropractic, and I decided to go back to what I always wanted to do initially, and I applied to the Welsh Institute of Chiropractic down in South Wales, which used to be the University of Glamorgan, and started the course there. And this picture of me with my kids, for my one decent picture where I'm not in fancy dress. And this is the Welsh Institute of Chiropractic, which became my home and has been ever since 2006.